Congratulations, you have made it through to December 2020. For many of us, though, it does not feel like there is a lot to celebrate when it comes to this past year. We think back on opportunities lost, hard changes we were forced to accept, and are feeling the loss of traditions, big or small, we used to follow throughout the year, as well as those during this holiday season. One of the most common themes discussed this year has been about loss, the loss of our ability to do what we want, when we want, how we want. People felt that they could no longer live their lives to the fullest, or as care partners, could no longer provide the same level of care as they were used to giving. That was a 2020 experience. But now, let's look at those thoughts and beliefs with 2020 vision to find the value for the future. The reality of life is that we have this moment. Each moment is a blank canvas upon which we create an experience and assign a value. When looking at our moments of 2020, we tend to judge the success, or lack thereof, through the values and resources with which we began the year. In January, we had a tremendous amount of resources, most of which we took for granted because they had always been available. By mid-March, though, we were beginning to lose resources at an alarming rate. Losing them for what we thought was a temporary period was bad enough, but as time moved on, our hopes of life to returning to normal, as we used to know it, became more and more bleak. By October we began speaking of a new normal, and now we speak of a next normal. However, even though we were aware of losing resources, we were still evaluating our efforts using the value system based on how life used to be rather than what the current reality was. That is like being upset with someone asked to bake 6 dozen cupcakes for the school bake sale, but they only brought 1 dozen because that was all the resources they had. As care partners, we must adjust to evaluating our results based on what we have to work with. These scenes will be rewritten and redramatized by moralistic screenwriters on Netflix. There is a likelihood that the era now ending will be seen as a time of lost focus, of concern with absurd detail, of pointless civil conflicts that didn't matter as much as we thought, of a catastrophic disinclination, or inability, to plan for the worse and to do so together. We may all look like people either working, or partying, or complaining on Facebook as the world blew up in our faces, and we had no idea what to do, and no agreement on how to do it if we did. With fewer people on staff and a smaller budget for remaining personnel, agencies have moved away from the typical bluster and luster that has come to be associated with movie deal-making in the post-Obits era. Signature displays of Agent Large S, Ari Emanuel's rumored purchase of a Bentley for client Mark Wahlberg, have given way to new austerity measures. Expense accounts at most of the major talent firms have been temporarily frozen. Floating assistants have been laid off. For some agents, WME's Richard White's notable among them, Zoom has become an indispensable tool in the lean times. Since the outbreak's onset, White's, whose clients include Tina Fey, LL Cool J, and Seth MacFarlane, has been throwing rollicking cocktail parties on the conferencing app. The parties have attracted as many as 500 attendees, media titans like Disney's Robert Iger and Quibi's Jeffrey Katzenberg, movie producers, and fellow agents among them. According to one guest, 80s pop icon Boy George performed the Culture Club hit Karma Chameleon at one of White's recent Zoom gatherings. John Mayer ran Through Your Body is a Wonderland at another, and Josh Groban covered America by Simon and Garfunkel. Walt Disney recently announced an additional layoff of 4,000 employees by the end of March 2021, in addition to the 28,000 employees who began receiving separation notices in October 2020. The majority of the layoffs will take effect at the end of 2020, as the firm cites limited attendance and continued closure of Disneyland in California per state coronavirus restrictions. Around 18,000 of Disney's laid-off employees will come from its Florida properties, and Disney is ending its free college education program offered to affected employees. It's been absolutely hard to pay bills and put food on the table. We've had to go to food drives, and those started out with a few hundred people, now the lines are over 1,000, said laid-off Disney animator. Together, seeing each other, no masks. Hope, new, family, change, hugs, friends. My girlfriend still laughs and plays. Public gatherings with big hugs. Resilience through connection, even simply online. Taking care of all of us. Don't take being together for granted. My parents, not online, in person. Smiling at strangers on dog walks. Don't lose sight of your goals. Family, perseverance, heart, bravery, confidence. Compassionate. Cold beer in a crowded bar. Relaxing with friends, making new memories. Acknowledge past, live present, dream future. I get to eat with friends. Continuing the work, the good trouble. Live music and taking real vacations. Hangouts without a screen between us. Reimagining me from 2020's new beginnings. I hope to see my family. No more swiping left or right. Remembering how important togetherness really is. Exit lexicon, pivoting and dumpster fire. Play ball. Beer here. Go Broncos. Honestly, I don't even know anymore. The freedom of going to church mask free.